Previous clip, I told you about Dutch history in the 17th century. This time, I'm going to talk about 18th century, which is even easier than in the 17th century, because all you have to remember now is one date, just to fresh up of your memory. 17th century, William the Silent, up to William III, who died in England without issue. Who came in power after William III? Very easy, William IV. And here we see William IV in all his splendor. In the middle of the 18th century, William IV came into power. And if I say power, it's real power, because he was not only stadtholder of Friesland, but he became stadtholder of all the provinces in Holland, which was exceptional. And also, it was decided that his heirs became hereditary to the provinces. So he was the first erfstadthouder, but as I said, died young, and everything went to his son, William V, who's over here. So here we see William V, a little bit older, of course. By this time, he'd married. And he'd married cleverly, because he chose Wilhelmina van Pruisen as his wife. Lots of things were going on in Holland. He was an important hereditary stadtholder, but the people really wanted a republic. After all, in France, things were happening, and the French Revolution was about to start, and that's the other date you have to remember, 1789. And how can you remember that? Very easy. French Revolution was an explosive situation. So you just count 7, 8, 9, bang. Easy. Here we see William V at the end of the line of all the Frisian stadtholders, together with his wife Wilhelmina van Pruisen. The couple were forced to move to Nijmegen, the Valkhof, which she didn't like at all, and she was fed up, went to The Hague to tell them off. But she was stopped by rebels in Goejan Verwellesluis, and was so insulted by the incident that she called her brother, the King of Prussia, who sent 20,000 troops to settle things in Holland. Well, they only partly succeeded, because in the end, as I said, they were forced to move to England, and funnily enough, they went to live in Hampton Court, just where William III, stadtholder king, had lived himself. So, end of the 17th century, William III in England, end of the 18th century, William V in England. But that was all political history, and my passion, of course, is culture. And here we see William V, how he should really be remembered, and I think also how he would like to have been remembered. Stadtholder, important with the sword of justice. His powerful wife here, Wilhelmina of Pruisen, leading as Minerva, the Dutch virgin to her husband. We see here something very important, the muse of painting and the muse of literature. And those two fields were very important to William V. He founded the Royal Library. He also had his own picture gallery, Gallery William V, which you can still see in The Hague, just around the corner. And the core of his collection, of course, is in the Mauritshuis. William V, important cultural guy, but William IV was even more important. But sadly, he only lived for a very short period of time. But what he did do is something which all of us recognize. He turned Huis ten Bosch into the palace it is now. He added these two very important wings and transformed the center part of Huis ten Bosch. It's the earliest representation of this palace, and very important one as well, because it's the only picture which is such a close-up of the house, and also the earliest in this state. You can still see all the poles here indicating where the pavement should be constructed. Wonderful detail here as well is the fronton, which is made out of wood, and of course the present one is made out of stone. Also the sculptures here are still not the real ones, so it's a building almost finished. Lovely detail is this man who is running a bit. He's a so-called voorloper, the man who was walking or running in front of the carriage, an important carriage, and it almost looks like William IV is arriving to inspect his house just before it's finished. And it's very nice to present this picture now for the first time.